You going?
Yep.
Alright, we're going to look inside a beehive and see what we find. This is kind of a blanket that keeps them warm in the wintertime. Shake the bees off. This is a protein, kind of like a little hamburger that the bees eat. Mostly soy flour and pea flour. A little bit of sugar mixed in. We'll open this hive up and see what we find here. First thing to do is clean it up a little bit. Get the extra wax scraped away. And you find a place where there's not too many bees, and you kind of pry a little bit to get the first frame out. They're kind of jammed in there, especially after this is the first time this hive has been open this year. Everything's just a little bit tight. And once we do that, pull the first frame out very slowly and carefully to keep the bees from getting crushed. And so what we have is some honey stored around the corners, and this area here is young bees. The brown capping is worker brood young bees. That are the bees that inside there are in their cocoon stage, and just like butterflies, they'll leave their cocoon as adults, which are these bees here. I'll see if I can quickly find the queen. That usually is a little bit of a process. First thing we'll do is, it's a little bit cool today, so the bees are really bunched up, but we'll just go through the hive frame by frame. Lots of food in this hive. This is a solid wall of stored honey, so that hive is in good shape. It'll have enough food for the spring. I'm going to put this brood back inside the box so it doesn't get cold. And then we're just going to gradually work one frame at a time across the hive, and the queen will show up at some point if my eyes are any good. The bees haven't got the memo on the social distancing yet. This white strip is it's like a tick collar for bees. It's actually trying to control the roa mites that have become endemic to the bee population, that have caused a lot of the losses of bees over the last 20 years. So this is kind of what I spend most of my days doing in the springtime, is getting in the hives, making sure they have what they need, making sure that they have the protein, the sugar, the natural pollen might start coming in today. It might just be warm enough for the first day. That would be poplar from willows pollen from poplars and willows. I don't know if I'm going to find her. Sometimes she's on the first frame you look, and sometimes you go through the whole hive 3 times before you find her. Generally speaking, gets easier as the days get warmer because the bees spread out a little bit more. Right now they're clustered quite tight to keep warm. That makes it harder to have that queen's distinctive shape jump out at you. I'll go back through. I got to put it back together anyway, so we'll go back through the hive. Most of these adult bees would have been bees that survived the winter in this box inside my shed, and but the new ones will be starting to emerge. And you can see this one here I think is about to hatch. Oh, can you zoom in on that, Timmy? See, that's a bee that's about to chew her way out of the cell. You can see her little mouth chewing away there. Let's see if we can't give her a hand. She just backs off a little bit. Come on, girlie. Almost there. There you go. And off she goes. She's quite tender in her body parts for the first few hours, and but she'll go find right away. She'll find some honey to eat, and by the end of the day she'll be getting to work. These more bumpy cells here are drones. They're the males. They're not quite ready yet. Oh, and there's a mite crawling on one, believe it or not. I don't know if the camera will pick that up. The mites preferentially attack the drones because the drones have a slightly longer incubation cycle. Couldn't get it out. And so the mites have more time to mature inside a drone. So it's just as well I have those strips in. When those drones start to hatch, the mites will really start to pop out and take a hive down very quickly. Well, I don't think we're going to find this queen this morning. We'll pop the camera back on when we find one and show you what a queen looks like in another video. So that's what is going on inside a beehive. Put everything back just the way you found it so that the bees can have their food where they need it and keep warm in the middle. rope to convince them to go back inside. Put a new pollen patty on, make sure there's lots of food. And then we're going to put a pail of syrup on here as well over that bowl so that they for sure have enough food. That's it.